100% Hard AF Seltzer is now live in over 2,500 locations across the United States. We're now available in Florida, Georgia, Alabama, Tennessee, North Carolina, Ohio, Idaho, Illinois, Michigan, Montana, Oregon, and Texas. Go to hardafseltzer.com today, click on the store locator, enter your city or zip, and find the nearest location closest to you. Welcome to Drinking Bros, presented by GhostBed.com.
What is up? Welcome to the 2025 premiere of Tomahawked. I am your host, Rob Fox, joined as always by Dan Hollaway, and we are here to talk Atlanta Braves baseball, but also for this first show, just preview the 2025 MLB season as a whole. Season technically already started, but whatever with that. Opening day is tomorrow.
Yeah, we don't count that.
Yeah, I mean, it's not like I don't think playing in Japan or whatever doesn't count, but it's fucking like 3 weeks before the start of the rig. Like
the last important thing that happened in Japan was when we dropped 2 bombs on them. So, not interested.
I don't know. They're building some nice sex robots that could.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
You don't know. You can't count them out.
Well, the fact that they're having to do it, they're not doing it out of pleasure. They're doing it out of necessity.
It would be more upsetting if they were sex robots that could get pregnant. Like they were like, hey, we know you can't talk to real women, but if you want to fuck a baby into this android.
Yeah. Well, I don't know that we don't know that's true.
Yeah, we don't.
They're always up to some weird shit over there. So this is a good way to start off the baseball season.
Yeah, I mean, that's what you can expect here, pretty much. But yeah, we're here to talk some baseball, some Braves baseball. Every week, if you're unfamiliar with the show, it'll be more Braves focused, but because it's the start of the season, we're going to preview the whole thing right now. But we are going to kick off talking Braves a little bit before we get into all our predictions for the divisions, who's going to play in the LCSs, World Series, Cy Youngs, all the shit. So I guess just first and foremost, what are you looking forward to seeing most from the Braves this year?
The thing that I'm most interested in this year, well, there's 2 actually. One is the sophomore season of Schwellenbach.
Yeah.
To see if he is a front end of the rotation guy. I think he might end up as the third starter here before everything is said and done. Especially with the concerns with Lopez and the lack of velocity right now, that doesn't look good. But
I mean, Lopez to me was a big question mark the whole time. Like even during last season, I was like, yeah, he's pitching great, but like he's never done this before. Yeah. And he did kind of fatigue at the end of the year a little bit. So.
Which is to be expected. This year should be better if he did the right stuff in the offseason, so we'll see how that goes. And then the second thing is this should be a breakout year for Michael Harris. You know, this will be his, and it's all about staying healthy. He's posted really good wins above replacement every year he's been in the league. You know, last year he played 110 games, 3.1 WAR, including a 1.4 defensive WAR. He's an elite defender. He's probably the best defensive center fielder in the game because of his arm. Like there are other guys that can track the ball as well. But nobody can do both. The only other
guy who compares would be Rodriguez.
Julio Rodriguez.
Seattle, yeah.
But I don't think he's got the hose that Harris does. He did. He just didn't stay healthy last year, and I don't think he ever got in a groove.
He did. Once he came back from the leg injury, he had, I think, I was reading this morning, his WRC plus was 120 something. So, I mean, he got back to his hitting ways eventually, but he was abysmal before the injury.
Yeah, it was rough. September was his best month, which is always nice.
Yeah.
He had 316 in September, which is when he finally got healthy.
The upside on Harris is it's not like Acuna's peak upside, but it's not terribly far off. Like he's not going to be he could be a 40-40 guy. I don't expect it, but it's within the realm of possibility. But I think Harris should, at some point, you would expect 30 homers out of him.
Yeah, I mean, it's mostly for him about comfortability in the strike zone, not swinging at bad pitches, especially. and swinging at better pitches. He's still got a pretty big hole low and in, which is, that's very common for young left-handed hitters because low and in is where they can drop the bat head down on a two-seamer or four-seamer and yank it. You know what I mean? So it's a very attractive pitch, which is why they're pitching him that way. So once he develops a little bit more discipline when it comes to low and in pitches, it's going to be very difficult for people to get him out.
Yeah.
So I'm really looking forward to see his development this year, mostly.
If he gets one big thing for him that's been a knock, and it's gotten actually worse every year, although last year is a bit of an outlier because of the injury. His slugging percentage has been good both years. In 114 games, his rookie year, he slugged .514, which is incredible. 2 years ago, he slugged .477, which is pretty good, solid. But the on-base skills, he doesn't get walks.
Yeah, which is, again, it's a comfortability with the strike zone thing. He swings. I don't know what his whiff rate is or what his chase rate is.
Right.
We look it up, I guess, but I'm guessing it's pretty high for chase. Whiff, probably medium, I would guess, just based on casually observing his at-bats, but his chase rate is probably pretty high.
If he gets the on-base percentage into the, even like the 350 range, he becomes like a 6-win player.
Yeah.
Like he becomes a dangerous fucking guy. Let alone right now he's almost like he's like a tiny Andrew Jones almost. You know what I mean? Because if the slugging goes back up and the on base percentage stays where it is and the average stays about where it is, that's basically Andrew Jones's slash line.
Yeah.
Right. Andrew Jones never a good on base guy. But always obviously had power and hit, okay average, 260, 270 for the most part. Harris a little higher than that. But the defense is, no one's Andrew on defense, but it's pretty he's like, he's kind of like a Kenny Lofton on defense.
Mm-hmm. With an arm, though.
Yeah.
Kenny Lofton could never throw like that.
Yeah.
Andrew only hit 300 once in his career. And I expect Harris moving into his mid to late 20s to be a 300 average hitter.
Harris could
year.
absolutely do that. Because he has speed that he has base speed that Andrew did not have. And Andrew was, in the outfield, he was a glider.
Yeah.
And I feel like Harris is a sprinter.
Yeah, he is. He is very quick. One of the fastest dudes I've seen play baseball, to be honest.
Yeah.
And he glides too. Like, you don't see him thumping the ground or anything like that, but yeah, he's just
because he's shorter.
Yeah, so I'm looking at this is even in 2024 for Harris. The peripherals for Major League Baseball, especially, like he's in the 88th percentile when it comes to fielding. That's not a surprise to anybody. But weighted on base, he's in the 81st.
Okay.
So it's I think it's just a matter of staying healthy with him. His exit velocity is in the 73rd percentile, which is. It's 90.5, which is that's fucking good.
He's a strong little dude. Like you don't realize even how strong he is because a lot of his home runs don't necessarily feel like home runs off the bat. They're not squeaking over the wall, but
he hits a lot of line drives over the left center field wall for home runs, which is you like seeing that because that's just guiding the ball as it's pitched.
Like you always know when Olsen hits a home run.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Like you always know that swing. And I always knew back in the day, like you could tell a Freddie home run, which is actually funny because if you weren't familiar with Freddie, it never looked like a home run.
Yeah.
But if you were familiar with watching him, you're like, oh, that's gone.
Yeah. So I'm looking at the rest. His his barrel rate, hard hit rate, all in the 60s, 70s, 80s. Exit velo, bat speed's in 86th percentile. His chase rate is in the 3rd percentile, among the worst in baseball.
Okay.
And his whiff rate is, as I said, just around average, about 45.
Okay.
45th percentile. K rate is above average at 60. So he swings and misses a lot, doesn't strike out terribly too much, but he doesn't walk ever.
Right.
4.9, and which puts him in the 8th percentile for walks in Major League Baseball. And his chase rate at 3 in the 3rd percentile is awful, amongst the worst in baseball. But it's something to improve.
And then, he's the type of thing, like, if he's on base, I don't even need him to steal bases, but if he's on base, like, that's a nightmare with the speed. So I kind of do think offensively the season hinges around him. Because I think Riley will be solid. Riley's always solid, even if he was streaky last year. And Olsen, even in his worst offensive year, 29 home runs, near 100 RBI, maybe 100 RBI, I don't remember. But
yeah,
Harris is...
I think he had 98 one year.
Yeah.
But it's always right there.
But Harris is the one that flips that lineup and makes it, I think, top to bottom dangerous. I guess TBD on the catcher situation.
Yeah, I mean, we got plenty of options at catcher, to be honest.
Yeah.
I'm not terribly concerned about that.
I think the other big thing that this season hinges on in terms of regular season success, i.e. winning the division, is just Chris Sale being healthy for 2 years in a row for the first time in over a decade.
Yeah, that'd be something, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
A healthy Sale, a healthy Strider once he's back, which we'll talk about the injured list here in a moment and what the implications of it are. And Schwellenbach end to end. Like if you got 3 front lines, and those are, I am of the suspicion that Schwellenbach is going to be a 1-2 starter. I think he's got like amazing stuff.
Yeah.
This dude. And then of course there's still Waldrop, who's going to come up eventually.
Yeah.
You would think Smith-Shawver is going to be the 5th starter out of the gate. And I think he's earned it as well. He's just got to keep he goes hunting for strikes on pitchers' counts sometimes and gets lit the fuck up.
Yeah.
Like he throws what he needs to do is sit down and watch 1,000 hours of Roger Clemens pitching. How he didn't throw one ball down the middle in his entire 20-year career, not once.
I believe Chipper just said that the other day he was on Pitching Ninjas podcast.
I didn't see it.
And he was like, I never, ever got a ball down the middle from Roger Clemens.
Yeah. I mean, he's got that kind of electric stuff that is only going to get better. He's still a small frame dude. He's going to get bigger between now and 25 years old, which means his velocity is probably going to go up into the even higher 90s to the 100 range, more than likely, right?
Yeah.
Once his mechanics are all tuned up and shit like that. So it's just not necessary to do that. You don't need to go hunting for strikes. Make him be more aggressive, make him hit your pitch instead of trying to, like, I think
like
part of that,
strikes.
Part of it is inexperience.
Yeah.
It's like, I don't want to get behind in the counts because blah, blah, blah. It's like, all right, fair, but there's a purpose to some pitches that isn't necessarily just to get a strike. So we'll see how it goes with him.
Did he play college ball?
No.
He was drafted straight out of high school. Okay.
Yeah, and he didn't pitch in high school until his senior year, I think.
Okay.
Or junior year. He's only thrown like a total of 140 innings in his whole life or something like that.
Sweet.
I don't remember what the exact number was.
At least his arm is fresh.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't remember what the exact number is actually, but it's some insanely low amount, so that's good.
One thing, so we can get into the injury list because this actually bleeds into my next talking point, which is how important the first 2 months are without Strider and Acuna. Because a big thing with the Braves, whether it's just making the playoffs or hopefully winning the division, Strider's out for a month, Acuna's out for 2, right? Is that what, or did I reverse that?
I don't think so.
Acuna's May, sometime in May.
Well, that was the presumption, but out of the gate, the moves they made yesterday. Murphy, Nacho Alvarez, and Acuna were all put on the 10-day IL. And then Strider was put on the 15-day. I don't even know if that means they're coming back quicker.
Right.
Because if it's May, then, you've got to transfer them from 10 to something else. And I don't know if they're just doing math or what's going on there. I don't know when Acuna is coming back.
They've always been, even though we're kind of getting a little, not sour, but impatient with Anthopoulos and the lack of moves and stuff like that, they've always been pretty savvy about those types of roster situations.
Yeah. So we'll see. I'm not entirely sure when they come back.
But I believe from what I read, it was one of them was late April, one of them was late May.
Maybe that's it.
Forget which was which off the top of my head. And then Murphy, who knows, sometime in April or May.
Yeah, he's not. He should be back within 2 weeks, I think. I think this.
He got hurt pretty early.
3 weeks. Yeah, I think mid-April is when he's expected back.
Okay, well it sucks that they're out for this part of the season because I hadn't looked at the schedule really. I knew our opening 2 series, 7 games on the West Coast to open the season fucking sucks because we are always terrible on the West Coast. But they're out for maybe parts of our most brutal stretch of schedule for the whole year. Like the Braves opening 2 months. This is April and May. They open with the 7-game West Coast road trip. They get, in that time frame of the 2 months, 6 games against the Dodgers, 6 games against the Phillies, 6 games against the Red Sox, who ESPN, not overwhelmingly, but by a majority, predicted to win the AL East. 4 against the Reds, who I believe are a playoff team, 3 against the Diamondbacks, who I believe are a playoff team, and 6 against San Diego, who will be a bubble team.
Yeah. That's pretty brutal.
I'd
rather have those out of the gate, though, because everybody's kind of getting their rhythm at that point.
Yeah. So the question is, what the fuck do we... And the Phillies, by the way, have a much easier schedule for the first 2 months. I think their schedule beefs up later. It's not super easy. They do play the Dodgers and Red Sox and Diamondbacks, but it is not as loaded as that. So there's a chance for Atlanta to get in a kind of a fucking hole.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, I think pitching is going to be a bigger part of it than the lineup. Acuna is going to be out. Murphy's going to be out, but Drake Baldwin is fine. James McCann is also on the roster. And then Trump, whatever he provides, as a 5th day starter or something like that. But Olsen, Albies, Riley, Profar, Harris, Ozuna are on the lineup. I'm not terribly concerned.
Yeah.
To be honest.
Do you have any concerns about Profar having by far the best year of his career last year in his early 30s, I think?
No, I don't. I'm not concerned about that, no.
He was once a top-line prospect, and he has been a very good pro.
Yeah.
Right, for his whole career, pretty good. But last year was the first year that he had, and he was I think, early 30s. I forget his age. But
he's 32, but 31 last year.
Last year was the first year he had that sort of blue chip prospect type year, and he's certainly not that anymore.
No, but I'll tell you what, the one thing that distinguished that year from every other year he's had in his professional career was walks and on-base percentage. It went way up, and that is age and comfortability with the strike zone more than anything else.
Yeah.
And part of that might be, being surrounded by good hitters.
He had a good lineup last year.
Yeah, and getting more fastballs or whatever, getting more pitches to hit. It's not going to be a problem in this lineup either.
No,
frankly,
no.
Right? Even if he's hitting leadoff for a little while, but I think even more so when he drops down into the 2 or 5 to 7 holes, whatever happens when Acuna comes back.
Yeah.
That maybe he gets off to a hot or slow start, but when he gets into when he gets sandwiched in between some good hitters, I think he'll start lighting it up again. Didn't strike out much last year. Only 101 strikeouts in 160 games. And
that's huge.
Yeah, it's
because we have a propensity for that.
Yeah, we strike out a lot, and walked 76 times. That's it's the most he's ever walked in his career. He also posted, and I think that's probably the biggest difference from last year is this command of the strike zone as a hitter.
Yeah,
makes a lot of difference. So we'll see how it goes. I'm not terribly concerned about him though. We've got a long history of getting production from people from Curacao. We're the only ones actually that ever get any production from anybody from Curacao. So
I mean, it's better than what we were going to put out there anyway. So
yeah, and then in addition to him, we've got Brian De La Cruz came over from Miami, and then Jared Kelenic they'll cobble something together until Acuna gets back. So I'm not really concerned about it. The thing that I'm most concerned about is Orlando Arcia. He's playing elite defense, but he's going to hit 9th.
Yeah.
Right?
Absolute
and
black hole.
And it's an automatic out right now. Nick Allen is on the roster from Oakland. Now he is also basically an automatic out, but he also plays elite defense at second and third. He can play both, and he has played both.
Yeah.
He's posted 1+ defensive WAR in every year of his career that he's played more than 100 games. So another elite middle infielder, which is fucking valuable no matter what happens during the season.
I mean, Albies and Riley have both been hurt in the last few years on and off, and then I think I don't remember if Arcia had been or not. I think Arcia had a minor stint on IL.
Yeah.
And then
something with his wrist last year. I think he got hit in the wrist or something.
Yeah.
And then we also have Nacho Alvarez, who's on the IL right now, but he's going to be on the Major League roster this year.
It's a deep bench. It's a deep team. I mean, they won 89 games with half a team last year.
This is the deepest Braves team I've seen actually. There's still a lot of question marks, especially with the injuries, and then pitchers who had their first good year.
Right, two of them.
Lopez and Schwellenbach. And then, that was his first year, but also Grant Holmes coming from bullpen to starter. We'll see how that works. Then we've got basically a rookie or two that are in that rotation or will make an appearance in that rotation. And then in the bullpen, lost a couple of guys, got De Los Santos. He's a pretty good lefty.
Bullpen's sturdy, I think.
Dylan Lee's a good lefty. We've got Kimbrell on a minor league contract.
Yeah.
Although he's been getting blown up. Although he hasn't, not this year, last year for Baltimore. He got blown up ERA wise, but he was like 24 out of 30 in saves.
Yeah.
So
I mean, he won't be. Iglesias will stay the closer.
Yeah.
But, I mean, if
Iglesias is in a contract year, too, so you should expect lights out from him.
Yeah. Now, bullpen is fine, I think. I'm not too worried about the bullpen. It's a lot. I mean, and we still have Pierce Johnson in there.
Yeah, Pierce Johnson's in there. Aaron Bummer, who I don't particularly care for, is still there, but he's a good mop-up guy sometimes. And we also got Neris from Chicago or Houston. I don't remember where he was last year. Either he's been with both of those teams, but longtime Philly, actually.
Yeah.
Great bullpen guy. He'll throw up. When he's healthy, he'll give you 70 games of like somewhere between 1.1 and 1.3 whip.
Yeah.
Which is, I can live with that. And he strikes out a decent amount of guys. So we'll see how it goes.
How do you feel about the defense?
I mean, to be honest, it's okay.
Yeah.
Profar's okay in left. He's not great.
Right.
Michael Harris is the best center fielder in baseball defensively. The infield defense is pretty good. Albies is the weakest link there.
And that's not bad.
No, he's not terrible.
He's not a bad defender. I think it's really the only knock he really gets at this point is range. The hands are there. He's good at turning two and
Yeah, he is. He's good at that. He does in defensive war hits you pretty hard for a lack of range too. So that is what it is. The Braves are pretty good at pitching and defensive positioning, so they don't get eaten up that much by that. Acuna, to be honest, is a mid right fielder.
Yes,
and I think it's not for a lack of talent. I think it's a lack of effort, and I don't know how to motivate a guy who's that good. Like,
right.
I don't understand it. He fucking lollygags out there all the time. It's like, all right, cool, man.
It seems like out of position a lot, or like not ideally positioned. I don't know. Still has a cannon. Maybe the best arm in the major leagues, but
yeah, I mean, it's like there are a couple, not last year, but the year before his MVP season, where it was like 103, 104 miles per hour throws from right field. I think actually. I think he topped out at like 108, which don't compare it to pitching because he's got a running start when he
right.
Like if Nolan Ryan was able to get a crow hop when he pitched, you would all be fucked.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I think between his legs and that, I think is this Ozuna's last year?
Last contract, contract year for now.
I think this is Acuna's last year touching grass.
Probably, yeah, and that's fine. I mean, he's a great hitter, so who cares? But yeah, I think he and
at the very least he's going to left. I think
he should go to left. He should have gone to left this year. We'll see. Maybe he will. I don't know. But but I think he and Ellie De La Cruz have the two best arms in baseball.
I forgot about Ellie.
I think Ellie
Ellie's
threw
on the
one.
infield.
I think he threw one across the diamond that was 108 miles per hour.
He's fucking insane.
Which is like, there's no reason for that.
Right.
You can't. There's nothing happens that requires that. But
it's just like Brett Favre throwing balls too hard just because he wants to flex.
Yeah, who knows? That might be why Joey Votto moved on.
It's just like I can't fucking deal with this shit anymore.
Enough of this.
Real quick before we get into our baseball predictions, we are brought to you by MyBookie. Go to mybookie.com and use the promo code Drinkin Bros to double your first deposit up to $1,000. You put in $1,000, they'll give you $1,000. Put in $500, they'll give you $500. Put in $20, they'll give you $20. Whatever you put in first deposit, promo code Drinkin Bros doubles it. Also, if you are a regular player on MyBookie, you are in the MyBookie Plus rewards program. That is nothing you have to sign up for, nothing that costs extra. It's just for loyal customers, and you get a lot of bonus stuff on that. Weekly bets, rake backs, which is the best thing. If you have a bad week or whatever, they'll toss you a little money back and be like, hey, thanks for playing. You had a tough week. Thanks for being a loyal customer. Here's a little money. Go have fun with it. Go win some stuff back. And since it's baseball season, we always do parlays here. So obviously load up a fucking baseball parlay and see if you can't get it all back in one fell swoop. That is at mybookie.com. We will also be making weekly parlay picks for the show. But yeah, mybookie.com is who brings you this lovely program. All right, let's get into predictions, just division by division, then the wild cards. Start with ours. How do you see the NL East shaking out? The Phillies are once again loaded. I think their pitching staff somehow got even better with the addition of Luzardo, and then they have a rookie whose name escapes me, who is supposed to be quite good as well. Obviously, Zach Wheeler is always like a Cy Young contender. I mean, the rotation's loaded. They've still got a good lineup. Harper, fucking, what's his name? Schwarber, Trey Turner. It's not a lot of holes there. And I think this is between who the division is between. I have no faith in the Mets, whose pitching staff is absolute ass.
Yeah, they're not doing anything. Yeah, well, I mean, I think the Phillies are set up pretty well. We'll see how Ranger Suarez looked good before he got injured in spring training, but it's just like back tightness or something.
Yeah.
Can be a nagging injury, but he looked good before that.
I mean, their rotation, if Luzardo bounces back, their rotation goes 1 through 5.
Yeah, for sure. And yeah, Luzardo is dangerous, but he's been up and down, very inconsistent. I don't expect him to be. He's going to be a back end of the rotation guy. Honestly, I just don't think he's.
I mean, with that offense though, a serviceable starter is more than enough.
Yeah, but he wasn't last year.
Right.
And I think 4 out of the 7 years he's been in the league, he's been bad, like 5+ ERA. And last year was like 9.5 before he finally got shut down. So we'll see on him. But Christopher Sanchez is their 5th starter. He's really good.
Yeah.
And they do have a rookie that might bounce into that lineup. A lot of this will hinge on Suarez being able to stay healthy and Aaron Nola performing.
Right.
Nola's
getting a little up there. I mean, he's
36, I think. 31.
Sorry. Oh, no, never mind.
It's Wheeler that's 36, right?
He was just really good, really young.
34.
He seems like he's been in the league forever.
Yeah, he came up young, but he was very consistent for a long time, and then, more recently it's been less so. Although the numbers on paper look really good, it's just like not what you expect out of him. I guess maybe because you get spoiled watching him pitch all those years and having fucking whips around 1 as a starter is crazy. Or
right.
Under. He had like 2 or 3 years where he was under 1 as a starter, which is nuts. So I think, that performance will matter for them. Harper looks locked in at second. Stott's okay, or at first rather. Stott's okay at second. Alec Boehm fucking had a scorching hot spring. He looks like, and last year was a breakout year for him too.
Yeah.
He's a very good player. You got to wonder about Castellanos and Schwarber aging. To be honest, Schwarber is already like, he's got one marketable skill.
Yeah.
And you wonder when that's going to diminish. So that's always a question mark. Brandon Marsh is not very good in center, in my opinion.
Yeah.
He plays the position well, but he's not. He doesn't add a lot. And then Trey Turner, if he performs or not, right? He only had that one kind of yippy time
stretch for them.
Yeah, so he didn't look good in spring, but I don't really. For hitters, I don't really pay much attention.
Especially
to that.
for a dude that has been around that long.
Yeah, I don't really pay much attention to that. He's not a very good defender, frankly, in my opinion. Like it's mid. Like he's a shortstop in the last 2 years. He's been sub 1 defensive WAR. At shortstop, that means something, especially because it's not a range issue, right?
With him, no.
Yeah. So, and that's a heavy factor when it comes to defensive WAR. So, their defense is not great. Although, but not last year. The year before last year, they actually played really well.
Yeah.
Defensively, but
we're in an era now where you can offset a lot of range issues. Mm-hmm. Obviously, the shift isn't there anymore, but you can still. The positioning is. I mean, it's.
Yeah.
it's laser targeted. Like, it is down to the exact millimeter of where you need to be standing.
Yeah. I think. Well, my hope is that the Phillies win the division and the Braves don't get time off because it fucks them every time.
Yeah, and then it fucked the Phillies last year.
Yeah, it did.
It fucks most of the teams. Like, we are still in this era where we have no fucking idea what the layoff is doing to people, and it seems to not be beneficial. I mean, look, if you're a team like the Dodgers obviously won the World Series last year.
Yeah.
And the Yankees.
The Yankees have been pretty consistently good at avoiding that, as have the Astros.
Yeah.
So Yankees, Astros. The Dodgers historically have not been good.
No.
Until this past year. So
they were just overwhelming, I think.
Yeah, we'll see. Yeah, it was just too much talent on that team. So we'll see. But hopefully, my guess is what I think is also, what I also hope happens, which is that Phillies will win the division probably with high 90s, low 100s wins.
Yeah.
And the Braves will be 4 or 5 games behind them.
There's going to be a lot of wins to stack up in this division because the Phillies are amazing.
The Marlins and Nationals are bad.
Bad.
Like, they're both AAA teams at this point.
Yeah.
So there's no more of that talk about the NL East being the best division in baseball.
I think people are still saying that because they overrate the Mets, who it's just like, I mean, people are going to tee off on the Mets. Like the Mets are going to win games. I think I could see them winning like 81, 82 games. Like, they're not going to be incompetent, but you should be winning series against the Mets.
Yeah.
In my opinion.
Yeah, certainly.
And their lineup's loaded, right? Francisco Lindor, Pete Alonso, Juan Soto. Like, it's a great lineup, but there is just nothing on the mound.
Yeah, and pay close attention to Jeff McNeil, who's been a pretty consistent performer for them over the years. He's done. He is. Dude, you remember the last couple of years I talked about how Justin Turner's OPS has gone down by like 30 points each year.
Yeah.
McNeil's on that same track over the last 3 years. That is never a good sign, especially for a guy who's a goddamn contact hitter. Soto obviously is great. He's one of the best players in baseball. We'll see what they get out of Winker, who,
good player,
solid, but we'll see if he's a needle mover at this point in his career. He's pretty far removed from his last really good season. 4 or 5 years. I don't know. Mets lineup is pretty legit though. All things considered, the defense is just okay. I mean, Juan Soto's terrible in right field.
Oh, God.
I don't know why they keep running him out there.
Wait, who's their DH? Is he not going to DH for them?
No, Jesse Winker's DHing, and they have Brandon Nimmo, who's played center field a lot in his career and left.
Yeah.
I don't know if Soto requested that as part of his deal, but I would have said no to that. Anyways, Pete Alonso's good. He's out of his contract year, so maybe he'll be out of his head. I think he's a guy, like a lot of dudes in a contract year perform really well. He did not.
Yeah.
And I think he's a guy that's better off when there's just nothing to think about.
Yeah.
I think he's going to hit 40, 45 home runs this year.
Yeah, unquationably.
But their rotation is not great, and it's already banged up.
I imagine they'll make a move.
They got to, yeah.
At some point in the season, and I think they will be in the orbit of a wild card. But I just don't think they have any shot at competing for the division. No, I mean they've got because even if the Braves fall apart, like injury wise or whatever,
they're not going to beat the Phillies no matter what. Yeah.
No.
And even if the Braves fall apart and the Mets are second place in that division, it's hard to imagine them getting past the Reds or the Brewers, whomever wins that, and the second place team will probably both be better than the Mets. And then Dodgers, Padres, Giants, and D-backs, who are all competitive.
Yep.
Dodgers also obviously in their own category in that division, and the Rockies suck, so they're not a factor. But Padres got a legit shot. The Giants improved markedly from last year, and the Diamondbacks they had an off season last year, but they have a bunch of young players, and usually that's the kind of team that comes back and fucking rocks it in the following year. So
the National League is really deep this year. Quite a bit deeper than the American League, I think.
Yeah.
So who's your pick for the NL East? I know you said you hope the Phillies win. It's hard to disagree with that sentiment based on what we've seen the Braves and last year the Phillies do, and most teams do in who get a bye. Like it fucking sucks. Like you just see something off. And I don't know. It's the type of thing where I wonder if those teams, basically the teams who aren't the Astros and Yankees, and I guess now the Dodgers, even though they still have the same management, what the fuck do they do to stay locked in that no one else is doing?
Yeah, I don't know. It's a good question. We'll see. So my prediction is the Phillies will win the division, I think, with somewhere between 97 and 103 wins in that range.
Okay.
And then I think the Braves come in somewhere between 92 and 96 wins, probably, something like that.
Okay. I'll take the Braves winning the division. I feel like I'll go with, 97 wins. 97-win Braves team. It's tight, down to the wire.
I think that's what the Phillies had last year, 95, 96, 97, something like that.
Yeah, I kind of feel like the Dodgers might be the only 100-win team in the National League, which I think their over-under on wins is literally like 102 in the books, in my bookie. It's crazy. NL Central. This is it is the best division race in the National League in terms of closeness and amount of contenders. I think there's 3. The Brewers won it last year. The Cubs added a ton of talent, including Kyle Tucker, who is always a MVP level player.
Yeah, and he's going to be peppering that left field wall in Wrigley.
Yeah.
That'll be fun.
That was a huge pickup for them. And they were close the last 2 years. I think they were an 83-win team both the last 2 years. And then the Cincinnati Reds, full of great young talent, including a great 1-2 punch at the top of the rotation. In my opinion, 2 huge strikeout guys in Hunter Green and Nick Lodolo, plus probably the most electric player in baseball in Ellie De La Cruz. Plus, they added Gavin Lux in the offseason. TJ Friedel's a good player. I love the fucking Reds to finally put it together and win this division, which I think, might happen with between 89 and 92 wins.
Yeah, probably in that range. Hunter Green and Lodolo are great. Consistency is going to be key for them. Nick Martinez and Brady Singer are also legit starters, so they're 4 deep.
Yeah. No, they have they're going to have a very underrated pitching staff all season, in part because they probably play in the most offense-friendly ballpark.
Yeah, Great American is fucking crazy.
Yeah. I mean, it is like arcade baseball. But those guys, and that's the type of thing where I'm not like super familiar with Martinez and Singer's strikeout situations, but you need guys like Green and Lodolo who are going to just not allow the ball to be put on the bat.
Yeah.
I think that, and by the way, if this team gets in, I've been saying it half joking all year, but they beat. I just joke that they're going to beat the Dodgers in the first round. So that would actually have to make them a play-in team, a wild card team. But you just don't want to deal with Hunter Green and Nick Lodolo in the first 2 games of a short series.
Yeah.
Like, that fucking sucks.
Yeah, and this is going to be a really competitive division. Probably, as you said, the most competitive division.
I think, Braves Phillies will be competitive as well, I think, if things go the way they're supposed to. Yeah. But it's just the 2 of them, and the rest of the division is mid to ass.
Yeah.
Whereas this division, pretty middle class, 3 teams in that sort of upper middle class, and then honestly, the Cardinals have just enough talent to make things interesting.
Yeah. I think the Brewers probably win this division, to be honest.
Again?
Yeah. Freddie Peralta, Brandon Woodruff, Nestor Cortez, Aaron Savali, they're all legit. Tobias Myers also is I think he's going to be really good. He looked really good in spring. Last year was his rookie season.
Yeah.
He threw in a 117 whip in his rookie season. They've got a 1 through 5 rotation. We'll see how their bullpen performs. They've got the best hitting catcher in baseball by a wide margin. Nobody is even close to William Contreras hitting wise.
Yeah, that move didn't work out.
No, that was a horrible move. We'll see how Yelich does. He had a bit of a bounce back, and then Rhys Hoskins is a legit dude, and then they got a bunch of young guys.
Yeah.
But this is basically they lost their shortstop. He's gone.
Willie Adames is gone.
He was a really good player, but Joey Ortiz, the guy they picked up to replace him, or that they had on their roster to replace him, the reason they let him go in the first place, looks like he's primed for a breakout year too. So things could get weird over there.
And honestly, kind of sleeping on the Pirates.
I mean, they've got Skeens. That's something.
No, they've got. I think the top 3 in their rotation is pretty fucking good. Paul Skeens, Mitch Keller, and Andrew
Keller's
Heaney.
good. Yeah. Haney had some good years with the Angels,
yeah.
and then I think his last 2 years, I think he was with the Rangers, right?
I'll double check that. But I mean, look, the lineup too, though. They've still got Brian Hayes and Brian Reynolds. O'Neal Cruz is an absolute stud. Isaiah Kiner Falefa, good fucking hitter. And then, Tommy Pham is a little spark plug type of guy. And they've got, I guess, some leadership. Andrew McCutcheon's on that team still at DH. Honestly, this is a solid, if you want to place preseason bets, you'll probably get pretty decent odds on the Pirates to win the division. They have not been picked by anyone that I've seen in any sort of overwhelming fashion. Someone might have picked them as a dark horse, but I saw the consensus being the Cubs actually to win the division this year on ESPN. This is a fun fucking team. Like this is one of my teams. Like tune into this team. Like if your game's not on or whatever, this is going to be a fun team to watch, even when Skeens isn't on the mound.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean this is going to be a very competitive division. I don't know. We'll see what the Cardinals do. I just think that organization is upended right now, and they have no identity. So it's hard to play 162 games in the season without that.
Dude, you can get the Pirates at like 9-1 to win the division. This is going to be a tough division because all these teams are really, really close to each other in talent. Even the Cardinals, who are probably the least talented team in the division, still have Sonny Gray, Nolan Arenado. They've got the other Contreras brother, who I think they're moving to DH now. They've got dudes. Like, it's not nothing.
Yeah. Yeah, and that Jordan Walker kid's coming back up to start and right. We'll see if he can get his shit together because they demoted him last year. But there's definitely a lot of talent in that team.
Dude, good fucking luck to whoever draws NL Central teams in the playoffs. Because like I said, you catch the Reds, you start off with Hunter Green and Nick Lodolo. You catch the Pirates, you start off with Paul Skeens and Mitch Keller. Let me look at the Cubs depth chart because they have some solid pitching as well.
Cubs are better. Don't fall into the Reds trap. They're going to stink this year.
Shut the fuck up.
They are.
Actually, the Cubs have a great rotation, too.
Yeah, Imanaga and Steele are good.
Jamison Talon's a good Talon or whatever, however you fucking say that, a really good third starter.
Precipitous drop-off after him.
Yes.
So they're 3 deep.
But, Seiya Suzuki, Kyle Tucker, Ian Happ, Dansby will play elite defense. Maybe his bat will be there. Who knows? Ryan Presley's their closer.
Yeah, he's good.
That's a good Cubs team. I'm still taking the Reds. But, honestly, I'm kind of rooting for the Pirates. This Pirates team is going to be really fun.
Yeah, the whole division kind of.
This is if you're just interested in pennant races or close games, this is a division to watch. Anytime you see an interdivision matchup between NL Central teams, it's going to be good.
Yeah. The West, on the other hand, there's competitive teams here, but nobody's going to catch the Dodgers.
No.
Unless the wheels completely fall off injury-wise. Nobody's coming close to them. The question is going to be how much they beat up on each other and if there is a clear second place.
Yeah.
Because I don't know that I see one at the moment. Of the remaining teams, the Rockies are a non-factor, but of the remaining teams, Padres, Diamondbacks, and Giants, the Diamondbacks are the best out of those 3. But the Giants did make some pretty significant improvements.
And the Padres were just in the playoffs last year. The Padres still have a ton of talent. I believe, who did they add in the offseason? I'm blanking on it at the moment.
The Padres?
Dylan Cease.
Yeah. He's their second starter now.
And Nick Pivetta. They added Nick Pivetta as well. So they have a sturdy rotation. Pivetta's his numbers aren't great. I just still consider him sturdy.
Yeah.
But Luis Arez, Jake Cronenworth, Manny Machado, Jackson Merrill, Fernando Tatis Jr., and then and Xander Bogaerts, and then they added Hayward and left.
Good defense,
Yep.
but you're not going to get much out of the bat.
No.
Yeah, and then there's the Giants picked up Verlander, so they got Logan Webb, Justin Verlander, Robbie Ray. That's pretty good.
Yeah, no, I think
we'll see what Verlander, like how many games he actually pitches. I don't expect to see more than 25 starts out of him, but that 25 is a lot for a guy that's 42 years old.
And certainly their goal is to make the playoffs this year. They're not in a rebuild. They're in a...
I mean, they just signed Willie Adames, so they better not be in a fucking rebuild.
Yeah, like they're ready to win right now. So we both agree the Dodgers are going to win this division.
Yeah, I don't think there's any question about that.
Yeah. So the question is, so we have you pick the Phillies, I pick the Braves. Who'd you pick for the Central? I'm sorry.
I think the Brewers win the Central.
Okay. I am going to take, even though I love the Reds, I'm actually going to take the Pirates to win the Central. I think it's a breakout year for Pittsburgh. There's more depth than I even realized just looking at the depth chart. For the West, and I guess we can just get in this now. Who do you think are the wild cards for the National League?
Well, I think the wild cards are from top to bottom. The Braves first because they've only got one real competitor in their division, whereas there's three. Second through fourth place in the West are going to be tough, and then obviously the Central is going to beat up on each other too. So I would go Braves for the first wild card spot. Probably Cubs second, and then, or I'm sorry, not Cubs. Excuse me. Probably Diamondbacks second, and then either the Cubs or the Giants, and those are the teams that I think are getting in.
Okay. I would take
the Giants have improved quite a bit.
They're really good. I think the Giants are going to make the playoffs.
Yeah,
certainly.
Helio Ramos had a breakout year last year. He hit 22 bombs. They brought in Willie Adames. They still got Matt Chapman. Lamont Wade Jr. is good at first. We'll see about this. Gerard Encarnacion had a great spring. We haven't really seen him tattoo anybody in the regular season yet, but he's got to have hand surgery now, so he's out for like fucking 6 weeks. So we'll see when he comes back. But Wilmer Flores will be in that spot for them in the meantime. They got a really solid squad, so I think they're probably going to win second place. I think Diamondbacks will be third place in the West.
Man, it's a good division.
Mm-hmm.
The Diamondbacks, I feel like people always sleep on them a little bit just because they almost have a Tennessee Titans problem where they don't look like they're a real baseball team.
Yeah.
But their pitching staff, they picked up Corbin Burns in the offseason, still have Zach Allen, Merrill Kelly, and then Eduardo Rodriguez and Brandon Pfapp. Like that's a 1 through 5 rotation in my opinion.
I mean, Zach Allen, Corbin Burns, Merrill Kelly is ridiculous.
Yeah, October's going to be fun. Just watching the pitching matchups that are going to be there. And then Corbin Carroll and Kettle Marte are two of the best players in the National League. So, and then, other guys like Eugenio Suarez, pretty solid. I feel like, it feels like it's the Braves are probably the NL East runner-up is the first wild card. No question. Since I picked the Braves, I'll say Phillies are the number one wild card. I think that's without a doubt going to happen just because, like you said, and like we said, the East there's a lot of wins to grab in the East that there are not in the West or the Central. God, what a tragedy it would be if the Central only got their division winner in because there's 3 wild card teams. I'll say the Diamondbacks get in. That pitching's just overwhelming. And I'll take the Reds to beat out the Giants in a really, really close race for that last wild card spot. This just feels like a year the Reds do something, and then that'll fulfill my prediction of the Reds beating the Dodgers in the divisional series.
That'd be really funny.
Which is just what I want to happen so fucking badly. On to the American League, AL East, Red Sox made a ton of moves in the offseason. Garrett Crochet is now leading their rotation. Added Alex Bregman. I mean, it's just a great team now. The Yankees, meanwhile, lost a ton both to free agency and injury. Garrett Cole's out for the year. Juan Soto doesn't play there anymore. And then the rest of the division's just kind of whatever. Like the Blue Jays, no.
The Blue Jays pretended to be real for some amount of time, but they're clearly not.
No. The Rays are literally homeless. Yeah, it's just it seems like the Red Sox and the Yankees are the two.
I mean,
I'm sorry. No, I'm an idiot. I always blank on this.
The Orioles?
Yeah. The Orioles are absolutely a contender for the division.
Those are the 3 best teams in the American League.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I don't think anybody from the West or Central are close, to be honest. Which is, unfortunate, but that's how it is sometimes. The Yankees are going to be running out. Now, let me start with the Red Sox, actually.
The Red Sox rotation with Crochet, Tanner Houck, and Walker Buehler.
Yeah, Buehler looked good once he got settled in last year. I'm hoping he has a good season this year. And then, Giolito is – we'll see about him. He's had he's had some rough years the last 2 He played for the last. He didn't play at all last year. He was hurt, but 2023 he played for 3 different teams and it was not great. And now he's got a low-grade hamstring injury. So we'll see if he can get on track. I think Boston's got a lot of talent. I also think that there's going to be some animus in the dugout and the clubhouse because Rafael Devers is being moved off at third base.
Right.
And rightfully so. He's the worst defensive third baseman in all of baseball, and it's not even close. He's the worst.
And you know what?
He's like, it's so bad, his defense.
No one even cares, dude. They only want you to hit the ball.
Yeah, just hit. I understand a guy wanting to be out in the field. I would want to play all the time, too.
I mean, that's a good sign.
Yeah.
Right? That he's competitive enough that he doesn't want to give up his position. And I mean, it goes both ways. Like, it's also a good sign when someone's like, it's for the team. I'll do whatever the team needs. But at least it shows you he's fucking feisty.
Yeah, and we'll see. Trevor Story has been hurt each of the last 3 seasons, but the numbers that he puts up when he's on the field are not bad.
Yeah.
Having him bang balls off the green monster is good. Bregman is a very good third baseman and also used to hitting in a stadium that has a short left field.
Yeah.
So, I mean, he's right at home. I like Jarren Duran, too. I think he's a really good player, especially because he was using homophobic slurs. I actually bought his jersey after that when they tried to cancel him. Maybe I'll wear it this year sometime. But, he's the ball club is really good. And power rankings-wise, they're in the top 5 in every power rankings you see, above the Yankees even.
Oh, yeah.
I just think there's going to be a little bit of animus in this clubhouse. We'll see if we'll see if it can be managed by the manager. We'll see.
I think Alex Cora's dealt with some personalities before.
Yeah, he's pretty good and pretty professional dude. So we'll see about that. I just think moving on to the Yankees, Clark Schmidt, I don't know about that guy. He's hurt right now, but he'll be back. He's one of those guys that has a good year, a bad year, a good year, a bad year, and he had a good year last year.
Yeah.
So I don't know about him. And to be honest, with Stroman, you never really know what you're going to get. He had a 1.5 whip for them last year, which is completely unacceptable, even with that kind of lineup. But then you look at the lineup, and it's Austin Wells and Paul Goldschmidt and Jazz Chisholm and DJ LeMahieu and Anthony Volpe and Bellinger and Judge addition. And Stanton. Bellinger's going to rock that stadium.
Oh, yeah. He's
going to, like, whatever we thought Rizzo was going to do when he was there, Bellinger's actually going to do it.
Right.
I think he's going to hit 40 home runs this year. He might be a fucking long shot MVP candidate as well.
I would sprinkle some money on Bellinger. You probably get insane odds for that.
Yeah.
Really good bullpen too. Devin Williams is their closer over there.
Yeah, Luke Weaver's there.
Yeah, this team is still really good without Garrett Cole. This team was terrifying with Garrett Cole because Garrett Cole, Max Fried, Carlos Rodon at the top of the rotation.
Yeah,
fucking stupid.
That would have been rough.
I still think probably the Orioles finished third because the Orioles rotation is grim. Their opening day starter, or at least their number one starter, is Zach Eflin, and then it's like Charlie Morton. Sagano, the Japanese guy they signed, is supposed to be pretty good. But
he will be good because nobody's seen him yet.
Yeah.
So he'll have a good season. And Grayson Rodriguez is solid too, but right now they've got him. One, he's out right now. He's going to be out for a minute, but they've got him listed as the second starter, and that's not what he is. He's a third, fourth, fifth starter. So we'll see how it develops through the year. They may make a move. They got a bunch of young talent. Cedric Mullins is great. They pulled Tyler O'Neill over from St. Louis. Or actually, I think
He
didn't
was
he play for the
somewhere. He was
Giants
on
last
Boston
year?
after that.
Boston, yeah.
Maybe somewhere else too, but yeah.
But Mountcastle's great. Rutschman's great. Jackson Holiday looks like he's actually going to be good. We'll see. TBD on that.
Yeah, I think
looked really good in the spring. So we'll see on that. But Gunnar Henderson is is a really good player. He's out for like a week or two, I think, at the most. But he's good. They got a great young ball club. I don't know what state they're. I don't know what state their minor league is in now, what kind of moves they can make with some of their other young talent, because they have so many young players that are on the major league roster now.
Right.
It's like, all right, well, let's get some fucking veterans over here. I think they're probably going to make some moves, probably even before the deadline, once they kind of shake out who's going to do what on this team.
Yeah.
And if they get a couple of starters, which is unlikely that early in the season, but if they get something.
Well, the trade deadline is not what it used to be because so many goddamn teams are in the hunt now.
Yeah. Yeah. So who knows? I mean, it's going to be tough for them to be number one with this rotation.
Yeah.
Frankly. The defense is great. Offense is great. Rotation is suspect at best.
There's just too much depth. The only thing that I'm worried about with the Yankees potentially is that, Max Fried, I love Max Fried, but he misses time.
Yeah.
And I don't know what their depth is like where, how many. Obviously, the offense can make up for it. But that would be the opening for the Orioles is just more injuries to the Yankees. Or I guess the Red Sox aren't safe from it either. I mean, Walker Buehler is definitely a question mark injury-wise, but he's not the linchpin of the rotation. As long as Garrett Crochet and Tanner Houck are good to go, they can plug and play with the rest.
Yeah, I've got Yankees, Orioles, Red Sox. I think the Red Sox are going to fall apart.
Okay.
I hope they don't. I like Cora, but
yeah,
I just feel like there's too much going on there, and it's going to fall apart.
I'll go Red Sox, Yankees, Orioles, and then who cares in that division.
Yeah,
TBD,
nobody else is a factor.
TBD on my wild card picks. Next up, the worst division in baseball by far, the AL Central. The Royals are sweet. I like the Royals a lot. Also have one of the best players in baseball that they are actively trying to build around in Bobby Witt Jr., who is going to be on the short list for MVP again. And honestly, a surprisingly interesting roster, more than good enough to win the NL Central or AL Central. Like more than good enough. The AL Central blows. But the pitching staff with Reagans and Lugo, Michael Wacha, Michael Lorenzen, that'll get it done in that division. And then Salvi Perez, still there, one of the best catchers in baseball. Jonathan India was a huge addition in the offseason. Hunter Renfroe, good player, and the aforementioned Bobby Witt Jr., obviously. I think this team is unquestionably going to win the AL Central. And I know there's talent on other teams, like Tarek Skubal's easily the best pitcher in the American League right now for the Tigers.
And they hung on to him and Flaherty, which is they're made a commitment to win.
Yeah.
As best as they're going to be able to. Riley Green's really good too. But, a lot of this lineup is kind of cobbled together from, like, Gleyber Torres, for example, is a castaway from another team.
Right.
So there's a ceiling on them. I think the Royals are doing whatever they can. They also play good money ball. They get some pretty good pieces. They play really good defense. Hunter Renfroe on right plays good defense. India plays a really good. He's a better defender than a hitter, I think, to be honest, or will be throughout his career. And then the Twins, it's always about health with those guys.
Yeah,
and it's marked by their two best players, Carlos Correa and Byron Buxton. Neither one of them can stay healthy anymore. Buxton's never been able to stay healthy, but yeah, I just think the Twins are higher up on the. Like, if you just looked at the names, you would see them higher up on the chart on the power rankings. But they're third place at best in this division, in my opinion.
I agree. The team you never know about would be the Indians.
They got a lot of young talent. They got Bibby, Gavin Williams. They've got Emmanuel Clase, who is the best closer in baseball.
Yep.
He's the only one. Maybe he's not the best. I don't know, but he's the only one that throws 103 miles per hour with fucking cut and run.
Right.
So
this is just a competent roster building team.
Yeah.
That probably to the disservice of their fan base, knows that they don't need to do a ton to make the playoffs.
Yeah.
Not probably, definitely a disservice to the fan base. But Carlos Santana, Jose Ramirez, Steven Kwan. I mean, you have those 3 guys in your lineup. That alone gives you a competent lineup.
Yeah.
I mean, those are 3 really good hitters.
They also mid-season got Lane Thomas over from the Nationals, which is somebody that I wanted the Braves to take a look at too, because he's always been in shit situations, but puts up pretty decent numbers. They've done a pretty good job of cobbling together a lineup here. Naylor's good at catcher, still figuring out the bat, but he's got a lot of pop. That dude, I expect him to hit 20, 22 home runs this year. We'll see. Cleveland's probably second or third in this division, if I had to guess.
I think second. I think they're clearly the second best team in the division behind the Royals, who I think are a little bit more of a invigorated franchise, right? Like if you had to, it's going to be fairly close. I think the Royals are a tad, not a tad, but they're a decent bit better. But the Guardians, Cleveland, whatever, they're just a good organization, even though they're cheap as fuck. Like they find ways to stack wins and get to the top of that division. So you never know. But I think this is the Royals all the way in the Central. I'll be rooting for the Royals to win it. I want to see Bobby Witt Jr. in October. That guy deserves. I mean, he's
very good.
Every bit the player that a lot of other top tier players are, and he's a 5-tool guy too. He's elite defensively, steals bases, power, average. I mean, he is. If he wasn't playing in Kansas City, you'd be a lot more familiar with who he was.
Maybe that makes homeboy right about Jeter.
Absolutely. Are you kidding me? Bobby Witt Jr. is a better player than Derek Jeter.
Oh yeah,
at least through the
100%.
first 3 years of his career.
Jeter at no point in his career hit 30 home runs and stole 30 bases. Like Bobby Witt Jr. has had 2 consecutive 30-30 years.
Yeah, I mean Bobby Witt Jr. is another level. Bobby Witt Jr. is
and he's quite a bit better defensively than Jeter ever was. Jeter was almost a defensive liability, especially in the back half of his career.
Yes, I agree. Yeah, Jeter never hit 30.
Like there is the fact that they put A-Rod at third base and Jeter at short during that period is fucking insane to me.
I agree.
That is insane. I mean, maybe Jeter could or could not have played second base, but I think Cano could have played third.
Yeah.
For sure. Cano had a good arm.
Yeah.
He could have played third, and Jeter could have moved over to second, which would be more commensurate with his arm strength, frankly.
Yeah.
I don't know. That was always weird to me, but he was the captain. He was the captain. Like, fuck off, dude. He was at no point was Jeter ever the best player on his own team. I don't think. Maybe one of those 90s World Series.
If you don't count pitchers, those 90s Yankees teams that actually won the World Series, like the 3-peating team and the 96 team, they weren't like necessarily loaded with superstars in the lineup. Like it was just a good lineup.
Bernie Williams and Tino Martinez were both better than Jeter in the 96 year.
He was a rookie in 96. That didn't surprise me. But like they didn't get.
What was the next one they won? 99?
No. They won
99, 2000?
98, 99, 2000.
98. Oh, yeah, that's right. They beat San Diego in 98. Let's see. 99. I'm just looking at the statistics.
I don't think they had like Giambi or anything.
No, but they had Darryl Strawberry.
Oh,
actually, that's the one year. 99 was the one year that Jeter had the best OPS plus.
Okay. But yeah, I mean, once A-Rod got there and stuff like that, A-Rod was clearly the best hitter.
Yeah.
He was the glue, man.
Yeah, Bernie was way better in 97 or 98 rather. And then in 2000, I think it was Bernie again actually who led them. It was Bernie again. OPS plus of 140.
Bernie Williams.
How the fuck is he not in the Hall of Fame? Is the real question.
Kind of gets screwed by playing in an era where people didn't value the things they value now.
Yeah.
He was a dangerous.
He's a
man.
297 career hitter, and he plays a really nice folk guitar. But anyways, back to the show. I think it'll be. it'll be either Kansas City or Cleveland probably. The White Sox are a non-factor. They are. The only question with the White Sox is how many games are they going to lose?
Yeah.
Will it be 110 or 120?
Yeah.
Honestly.
It's another absolutely brutal fucking year on the South Side.
Same thing with the Athletics, by the way. If you look at the list of all the teams, they're the only ones without a city attached to them. So that's not great. But the AL West, the Angels are going to be okay. They picked up some pretty good talent.
Yeah.
So they'll be okay. And you can never count out Wash, to be honest. Like look at what he did. Those Rangers teams, when he first got there, it was Josh Hamilton and a bunch of question marks.
Yeah.
And he did a pretty good job developing them. But the Astros are good, the Mariners are good, and the Rangers are good.
Yep.
So this is going to be another pretty competitive division.
It's I don't think it's going to be necessarily a good division, but it is going to be.
They're going to beat up on each other a lot. That's the problem, right? And then their record, the AL West record versus the AL East, is going to be abysmal. So you're looking at a bunch. You might have 3 80-win teams in that division. To be honest, it's possible, but I would suspect that it's more likely that you're going to have probably the Astros and or the Rangers somewhere in the 90s, and then the other one is going to be in the low 80s. Yeah. Probably in the low 80s, 83, 84, something like that, which those are good years, right? Yep. We'll just see how Baltimore, if they can stay healthy and get some pitching help, if the Red Sox can keep their locker room from imploding, because Rafael Devers, we've seen this shit before. A guy gets moved out of his position and just a clubhouse cancer after that. And he was already making a stink about it in spring training. Hopefully, he'll just shut up and hit. Right. And that could be one of the best teams in baseball if they make a move or two. Right? Oh, yeah. So hopefully he'll do that. I want the Red Sox to be good. I think it's always better for the sport when your marquee teams are better. Yeah. That's always the case, and it makes the game better. So I'm hoping that's the case.
I think there is a sleeping giant in the West, a potential World Series winner in the West, and that's the Texas Rangers.
Yeah, they've got. I mean, they just won in 2
years ago, yeah.
22?
Not last year, 22? Before.
23. Yeah. It was 23, okay. Yeah, they're very good.
Their pitching staff, 2 incredible young arms in Jack Leiter and Kumar Rocker. Yep. Then
Molly's good.
And then, dude, if DeGrom is healthy this year,
yeah,
if DeGrom is healthy, you can just fucking forget about it. Yeah. Like, that division is run away with the Rangers. Even though, look, man, I understand the Astros are the Astros. And then the lineup, Jonah Heim's one of the best catchers in baseball. Marcus Semien, Corey Seager, Adolis Garcia, Jock Peterson's their DH this year. Like, this is a fucking great team.
Yeah, they're very good.
This is another one where if your team's not playing, I would highly recommend watching this team. Because, A, you're going to get to watch good pitching every night. Especially Jack Leiter and Kumar Rocker if you want good young pitching. And then the lineup just hits bombs, dude. Like, this is And you hit a lot of home runs in Texas too. This is a good fucking team. I think they're head and shoulders above everyone else in the AL West.
They also brought over Jake Berger from the Marlins, who hit 29 or 30 home runs last year. I'm telling you, in Texas, that dude's going to hit 35 or 40 home runs. Semion's going to have 35 or 40 home runs. It's going to be a year over there. Adolis Garcia, if he stays healthy, he's going to be in that 30 to 40 home run. Corey Seager's probably 25 to 30, somewhere in there, but he's going to drive in a lot of runs. I mean, they're going to put up some fucking runs.
This team is...
And Wyatt Langford, by the way, who is rookie last year, posted a 740 OPS with 16 home runs in 135 games. This is either going to be a breakout year or a sophomore slump for him. If it's a breakout year, they're in the ALCS, in my opinion.
The Rangers?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think, based on especially how difficult the AL East is, or how the depth of the AL East compared to the AL West, I think the Rangers are got to be the favorite for the top seed in the AL playoffs. They have more opportunities for wins.
Probably. I mean, certainly you were concerned about Houston, and Seattle's got a good squad. We haven't even talked about them.
The pitching's great. The defense is great there.
TBD on Julio Rodriguez's bat. It started slow last year, and then it picked up. But they've got Randy Arozarena and Julio Rodriguez, and then they've got Luis Castillo, George Kirby, who's another guy that throws high 90s with a lot of movement. Logan Gilbert's good. I mean, their
pitching's fantastic. It's one of the best staffs in baseball.
Yeah, for them, it's going to be about performance from some of the, I guess, I don't even know what you would call it, some of the down ballot guys. Does Luke Raley string another 20-plus home run season together like he has the last 2 seasons? He's been very good. Does Rowdy Tellez have a good year? I mean, he's been
he's a big boy.
He's a big boy, and he's 30 now, right?
Yeah.
So if you're walking around at 280 pounds at 30 years old, it might be time to fucking lock it up a little bit, but he fucking lit it up in spring training. He had a 900 OPS in spring training this year.
Yeah. The Mariners, they have a great team. In terms of pitching. And
the outfield defense, too,
yep.
especially. I mean, Victor Robles had a great spring, too, and he's a good hitter. But they've got a Rosarina, Rodriguez, and Victor Robles in their outfield. That might be the best defensive outfield out there, to be honest. I mean,
the question is, a Rosarina going to be a Rosarina? Is Julio Rodriguez turning into a, I don't know, almost like a Jason Hayward type guy where it's like
what could have been?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, what did a Rosarina do last year? 733 OPS, not terrible.
But that's
in 54 games.
734 OPS for Julio Rodriguez, which is you expect 850 plus from him every year, right?
And he hit Rosarina? I mean, Rosarina had 20 home runs last year. His offense has been dipping at basically every year. I mean, here's his OPS by year, right? 2019 in St. Louis, he didn't play that much. 2020 in Tampa was the COVID year, but he played half the year, 1,000 OPS. 21 in Tampa, 815 OPS. 22 in Tampa, 773. 23, 789. 24, when the Rays traded him, horrible sign, 712. So the Rays punted on him, and then he went to Seattle, did a little better. Yeah. Like we always kind of like to say, don't trade with the Rays.
Yeah, don't.
They're sending you shit that they know sucks.
Yeah, but he's on. That's the track Julio Rodriguez has been on too. He's his first 3 years in the league, 853, 818, and then 734 OPS.
Yeah.
Trending in the wrong direction, but certainly he's got quite a bit of talent. He's got elite bat speed too, so it's probably a selection issue. He's striking out 150 plus times a year, and he's walking 35 to 45 times a year. You got to fix that. It's the same issue that Harris is having.
Yep.
Harris's numbers just look better right now.
Yeah.
On paper for the most part. Well, that's not true. Harris, you don't expect the same amount of power out of Harris that you do out of Julio Rodriguez. So when you see that OPS dip, it seems like more of a warning sign.
And look, man, the Astros, again, just like this is a better version of Cleveland in that no matter who they lose, no matter who walks away, this is a really fucking competent organization.
Mm-hmm.
They
got Christian Walker.
They got Christian Walker at first, Isaac Paredes at third, and Jeremy Pena's a great shortstop. Altuve now in left.
Yep. We'll see how their defense holds up. Cam Smith, who is a natural third baseman, is playing right field, and he's a rookie.
Yeah.
But he is a very impressive person.
Yes.
That motherfucker can play some baseball, so I don't know if he's going to have any trouble out there. And then Jake Myers in center is really good too.
Yordan Alvarez is a beast.
He's to me, I don't know, maybe this is generational, but Yordan Alvarez is the scariest player in baseball to me. Whenever there's no player that comes up to the plate that puts more fear in my heart when my team is facing him than that motherfucker.
Yeah.
Ever. Like I don't ever remember anybody. Like it's not just the Braves or anything, and not even just in the playoffs either. Big situations during the regular season, I see that dude come up. I'm like, motherfucker.
It would be like him, and I'm not. Even though Ohtani's like the best player in baseball, I just don't fear him. His face is too soft.
Yeah.
But like Alvarez and Bryce Harper are probably the two dudes where I'm just like, oh,
Harper's second, and it's for Harper. I worry less about him, not because of his confidence, because he's a Hall of Famer already, in my opinion.
Yeah.
He's just got to cobble like 2 or 3 more pretty good seasons together, and he'll be a Hall of Famer. But he wants it so bad that you can get him. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But Alvarez, I don't know if he's even alive. He seems like a fucking robot.
He's very Pujols-esque in his robotic
He seems
nature.
like a robot. Strikeout, home run, it's like the same, puts his head down and just jogs.
Yeah.
And either the first base or the fucking dugout, man.
Yeah.
He's a killer.
Yeah.
And not that Harper's not. He's a killer, too. I just like when somebody's as emotional as Harper is, you can get to him. So
right.
I'm at least some of my stress is alleviated by that. But it's also 2 dudes that I love watching play baseball. I'm glad that Harper is at first base now.
Yeah.
So he's going to have a longer career. We'll get to watch him until 38, 39,
and
40.
Playing
now.
it extremely competently too.
He's a great baseball player. He started out as a catcher, right? So he's going to be good at first base.
Yeah. No,
they should have moved him to first base in the first place if it weren't for he's very quick and he's got a hose. He's got a cannon for an arm. You don't want to put that guy at first base.
And they had a first baseman at the time.
It was not Ryan Howard. Who was it? Reese Hoskins.
Yeah.
Who can't play anywhere else, probably, right?
Yeah.
Not that Reese isn't a good. He can hit too.
He's a good player.
A great first baseman, but
I think, by the way, this Astros rotation is not sexy. It doesn't jump off the screen, but it is a good rotation that is going to win you games. Framber Valdez, Spencer Arrighetti, Luis Garcia is out right now, and then Ronald Blanco and Hunter Brown, like that. That is the type of unsexy, above average rotation that 90 win teams have.
Yeah. We'll see if Luis Garcia can make it back. He had elbow surgery and was doing his throwing routine yesterday and got pulled off of it.
Yeah.
Because of soreness and stuff, and he's going to get MRIs and second opinions and shit, which is never good for a guy coming off TJ.
It's a good org. And I trust them to plug holes. But that said, I'm taking the Rangers to win the West. I think they're head and shoulders above everybody else.
think Rangers, Astros are probably a wild card team. I don't think Seattle makes it. I think they just need help.
Yeah. So the wild cards for the AL, I took the Red Sox to win the East. So I'm going Yankees, Orioles, Astros as the wild cards.
Yeah, I mean my first wild card will probably be. If the Red Sox are good, I think my first wild card would be the Yankees. If they fall apart, I think it'll be. I think it'll probably be Houston and then Baltimore.
Okay. No one from the AL Central is getting a wild card.
It just seems unlikely. I mean, it is possible though. It's unlikely that Cleveland and it's unlikely that two Moneyball teams both cobble it together in the same year in the same division.
Yeah.
Right. So it could be, but unlikely, I think.
I just have more faith in the non-stagnant organization.
Yeah, you got to make some moves. I mean, Cleveland's moves are always outbound.
Yeah.
For the most part, and it's like there's no if the if the Rangers or Mariners or Astros or Yankees or Red Sox or Orioles, maybe Orioles is the last one on that list. But if they have problems through the season, they're going to make moves, right? And the Orioles have capital to make moves. They just don't have the money that the other teams have, but they do have a lot of young capital. So, but that's not an option for Cleveland or Kansas City, at all. Like in no world are they taking on huge contracts in free agency or in
they could take a dude who's
in a
about
trade
to be up.
Yeah, they could rent.
Yeah,
that's it, and that's hit or miss. So, TBD.
Who's your prediction to play in the NLCS?
NLCS, I'll take probably. I'll say Braves Dodgers. I think that's the most likely scenario. I think the Phillies are going to win the division and get bounced in the first round.
I think if they win the division, it feels.
If the Braves
don't love being a division winner.
Yeah, if the Braves win the division, then it's going to be Phillies Dodgers. Probably. Okay. That's what I think.
Yeah.
Or maybe Dodgers against the first wild card team, whoever that is, whether it's the Diamondbacks or Giants or somebody like that. But yeah.
I'm going to go. I'll just get weird with it and say Pirates Dodgers in the NLCS. This is a magic year for the Pirates, but it also ends up being the best year of the Paul Skeens era.
That happens.
They crest.
It happened to fucking Elway, and if it weren't for those 97 and 98 seasons, he went to the Super Bowl
3 times.
His second year?
It was early.
What was it, 89? Or what?
He went before that.
Or 87? What year was it? It was against the 49ers, right?
Yeah, and he got blown the fuck out.
Yeah, they lost like 53-10 or something like that.
Murdered. I forget what year it was.
And he didn't make it back until his last 2 seasons, so I could see that. I mean, that happens to baseball players a lot, too.
Yeah.
We'll see.
Yeah, I like Dodgers, Pirates in the NLCS, and then who do you like for the ALCS?
Oh, and for the NLCS, if the Braves win the division and get bounced, I'm rooting for the Phillies to win the World Series.
Boo.
100%.
What?
Yeah, I want Bryce Harper to win a World Series. I don't give a fuck about the Phillies as an organization, but I love Bryce Harper. In the AL, I think the Rangers are probably in the ALCS. I would almost go as far as to say that's a foregone conclusion.
Yeah.
Frankly.
I mean, if fucking Jacob deGrom.
Yeah. If he's just healthy for 30 games. Not 33 even, or even 28. Like that's a 28 is a normal Max Fried season, to be honest. He's only gone over 30 twice. I think probably the Rangers versus if the Red Sox can keep it together, them or the Yankees.
Okay. I will go. I like Rangers, Red Sox. I think I like the Red Sox rotation better.
I mean that would be the best possible ALCS because they would score 1,000 runs.
Yeah.
In that, I don't care how good the pitching is, just because of the fucking nature of those two lineups and the stadiums they play in.
Oh,
that'd be the best fucking ALCS we've seen in a long ass time.
Absolutely.
Runs wise, anyways.
And then World Series predictions.
Hard to win back to back. I can't take the Dodgers, so I'll take. The Phillies.
Okay.
I think the Phillies win.
I'll take the Rangers over the Dodgers in the World Series.
Phillies Rangers would be a great World Series too. I'd love to see that.
Yeah, but this is going to be a fun year. I like a lot of these teams that are out there. Who you got for Cy Youngs?
That's a good one. I'll tell you, in the National League.
Skeens is the favorite, I believe.
Skeens is the favorite. I think Skeens has got a good shot. Don't sleep on Blake Snell, who's over at the Dodgers now. He's going to be pitching against everybody's third guy in the rotation.
Yep, stacking up wins.
He's gonna win 20 games this year.
Yeah,
and I think I don't know what his odds are. We can look on my bookie or something, but I don't know what his odds are. But I would bet Blake. If I was betting on it, and I probably will, I'm going to bet Blake Snell because he's on the best team in the league. And he's going to be going up against everybody else's third starter, and he is very clearly a number one starter.
Yep. Snell is 10-1.
Yeah, I'll take that. I'll put $100 on that.
He might be the third favorite. Sorry. Skeens is the favorite. Then it's Zach Wheeler at 7-1. Snell's 10-1. You've got Chris Sale at like 14-1. I will go with Wheeler. I think Wheeler's been so close the last couple years.
Yeah, he looks good.
So this is Skeen's second year. Who knows? Snell does have innings pitched problems.
He does, but it didn't hurt him that last time.
No, it didn't.
And also, he threw the most innings per start in his career last season after hearing everybody talk shit about it.
Yeah. Yep.
Oddly enough, he went into the seventh inning more last season than he has in his entire career before that.
Yeah.
So maybe he heard people talking shit. I don't know. In the AL, I'm taking Max Fried.
Okay, he is one of the higher people on there. I think he's third or fourth. The
type of fucking dinky doink bullshit that he gives up in a normal stadium doesn't happen in Yankee Stadium because the fields are smaller.
Yeah,
like especially he gets lit the fuck up short right field. That's where he all of the non home run gap damage that he gives up is right there.
Yeah, and
it just doesn't exist in Yankee Stadium. So
less ground to cover out there. Yeah, no, it's not a bad pick. I will go with Tarek Skubal is the favorite.
Back to back is tough.
I will go with Garrett Crochet on the Red Sox if he can replicate. Plus, he should stack wins there. Definitely. Well, like Fried, actually, they're going to face a lot of tough lineups. Catching the Orioles and the Yankees or Red Sox a bunch is going to be tough. But I like Crochet's chances.
Yeah, we'll see. If I'll sprinkle Crochet. TBD on how his arm holds up. He threw the most innings of his career last year.
If you want a decent long shot, Jacob deGrom is healthy.
If he just stays healthy.
Yeah,
if he just stays healthy for 28 or 29 starts, he can definitely win the Cy Young. He doesn't have to even get 30.
No,
because he'll put up such good fucking numbers. He doesn't have to do that.
Yeah, and then MVPs for each league. I think Ohtani's who the fuck else is going to do it, though?
It's hard to argue against Ohtani. I think Bryce Harper's going to be on that list.
Yeah.
Probably. I think I think Corbin Carroll might work his way on there as well.
Usually close. I think Kyle Tucker is a good sprinkle bet.
Yeah. Yeah, it could be.
Because he'll be on a team competing for a playoff spot / a division, and he's a 5-tool guy, right?
Yeah,
elite defense, 30-plus homers, 30-plus steals a year. He's a 30-30 threat every year.
He's just not a sexy pick for it, but if the Cubs win 95 games and he's their best player, there's a good chance that he wins it.
Yeah.
Then in the American League, Judge is always a threat.
Yep.
because he puts up 1,000 OPS every year, right? And it's hard to fucking beat that. Bobby Witt. Those are probably the two favorites.
I'd take Bobby Witt. I think the Royals win the division, and Bobby Witt has probably the best year of his career to date.
Yeah.
He seems like the type of guy who just keeps getting better and better and better.
Yeah. Well, if Judge doesn't hit 58 home runs last year, I think Bobby Witt wins the MVP anyways, right?
Yeah.
And Judge is 32. There's no reason to think that Judge won't come out and hit another 50. I think he probably will.
Yeah.
To be honest, depending on how healthy he stays and the people around him stay. But if Witt throws up, 1.5 defensive WAR plus everything he does on offense again, then you got to give it to him at some point. For fuck's sake, even though he does play in Kansas City, you got to give it to him at some point.
Yeah, I think this is Witt's year to do it. I mean, Witt might go 40-40 this year, playing maybe the best defense of anyone who's ever gone 40-40.
I don't know what Bond's defense was.
Whatever.
It's pretty good, but he doesn't have much of an arm. Jose Canseco definitely was not playing great defense when he did it. Who else?
I mean, did Willie Mays ever go 40-40?
No,
That'd be the only.
There's only a couple of people. So Bonds was the first. Canseco was second. Oh, no, Canseco was first maybe. Canseco, then Bonds, and then Alfonso Soriano.
Yeah.
And then Acuna and Ohtani. I think those are the only people to ever do it.
Yeah. So I think this is probably I'm going to go Witt.
If he goes 40-40, you kind of got to give it to him.
Yeah.
Or he does something crazy like 40-50, 40-70 like Acuna did or whatever the fuck. I mean, I don't expect him to steal 70 bases, but yeah, make history, win the MVP.
Yeah, pretty much.
That'll do it.
That's the way it goes. That's all I got. Opening day starts tomorrow. We'll be coming at you Fridays from now on, but we're going today just because opening day is tomorrow. And then fantasy baseball invites will be going out shortly. I've got your emails. If you haven't put it in the Facebook group yet, do that. There's a post in there. So yeah, be on the lookout for those. And for Dan Hollaway, I'm Rob Fox.